So here we are again, Kung Fu night. It's Saturday night, and we are sewing again because it's cold outside and I'm trying to finish my Hawaiian shirts. And we have a nice fire going. And here we are where I've messed up my kitchen that was just recently all clean. And so we're going to go over here. And I started, I'm working on my second shirt, right? So we finished the other one. It's right here, and you can see it came out pretty good. So, but I only showed you guys how to make the pocket and how to put on the, this thing falls down. It's pretty funny. There we go, there we go. And yeah, and we put on the collar and we did around the edges, but we hadn't put on the sleeves or the buttons. So that's what we're doing now, what we're going to be doing. So what I wanted to show you is how I changed this bobbin. So there's not changing the bobbin, but the little bobbin ran out of thread here, see? So I pulled it out, and that's where we're at. So get this and move this over here. And let me set this up. Just take a second. I always say that, but it always takes longer. And move this closer. Okay. This is kind of something that happens all the time, that we're always having to change the little bobbin. What's neat about this machine, you have to do this on every kind of machine, but what's neat about this one is that I don't have to unthread it from here, although I did. I unthreaded it all the way. So let me thread it down here first. I'm just threading through this little, it's kind of a little guide, and then I'm just doing this the easy way. There's a way where you can use the automatic threader, but that's no fun. It's more fun to make it hard. Okay, so here I'm putting the thread in. You can't see that, but I did. And then I got it. And you could use tweezers, but I'm not going to use tweezers to grab the thread. Okay, so now I have the thread. So now we're going to do the automatic threading, which is kind of cool. So this little thing right here, you have to take your bobbin, this little green bobbin here, and you put it on here. You got to have it on the right way. And then you bring this up like this, and you turn this a couple times around like that. And then you pull this way, like this. There. Then, let's see. Then we want to guide it through here. There. So it hits here, 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 and here. And when I move this here, it knows that the machine is free to do the bobbin. So if I did this right, which I did, and it'll go. And that's it. So now we got to put enough on there to do the buttons and finish the garment, which is probably a little more than that, because I don't like to waste it. There, that's probably good. Maybe a little more. But it will shut off automatically, but I don't want to just keep putting thread on there, because a lot of times I use the bobbin again and then I end up wasting the thread. So here we go. Cut that. And then you just stick this Let me see if I have some camera difficulties again. There we go. Put that back. I was trying to move it in, but it wasn't clamped in right. Which I can still move it in without. And bring it in a little more. So now, here, let me just hold it, it'll be easier. Everything's falling around. So anyway, we put this in here, and it has to go up like this. And then we bring this and we catch it right there, and then bring it up here like this, and then get this one out of the way, and then just bring it to here, and then it gets clipped right there. You don't even have to clip it, you can just put this on like this. Okay, now I'm going to put this back over here. Okay, it's back on here, and let me tighten it down so it doesn't fall off. There. And let me bring it back. I probably was all blurry and I don't even know it. If so, we can just skip this one. Anyway, that's it. That's, well, let me sew a little bit. So, I'll just take a piece of garment, a scrap piece, which I have one right here. So I usually end up using a scrap for different things. So like here I was practicing on buttons, and you can see I was making the buttonholes and I was messing them up. And finally I got them right, and I just kept making them after I figured it out. But we'll just take a little bit and sew it right here just to get the thread moving. Okay, so that sound that I heard, it told me that this is not hooked in to here. Somehow this came out of, maybe not. Try it again, let's see. Yeah, it's sewing fine. Okay, that's it. So now, see, it's back through there, everything's good. We got our bottom thread. And then here is where I'm at on this particular one. I went all the way to here, right there, and that's where it messed up. So we're just doing the bottom edge of this, so we'll just keep going. Which you saw me do this on the other shirt. I'm just doing it on this shirt now, and kind of going fast because why not? I feel like going fast. And here we go. So then I go all the way to the end here, and then I'll go back to there, and I'll make a nice thing. I drop it in there, and I don't know if you remember this part, but we turn it. So we'll turn it like this, and we'll sew down here. There's another needle, and I go here like this until I get past where the cut is, which is right there. And then I leave the needle down like that, flip it up, turn it like this, and then go across. drop it down and then turn it again. And we only have this little bit right here, so we're only going a little ways. And then we can start doing the sleeves. So I'm going to pull this out, use my pucker tool, and I'm going to go with that. Gotta stop. See now, I'm gonna drop it in there and try to fix that. See how I did that? I don't know if you can see. Let me go a little tighter. And maybe go up a little higher. Of course it didn't work. Why I have more difficulty with this stupid thing. I should just get the new one before I break my camera. Alright, I'm going higher and turn it down. There. Almost. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to work, right? I should just get the next one. I'm going to use my other tripod because this one's too hard. It's not working very good. There. I think that's it right there. Yeah. Anyway, so. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to bring this down. I kind of had a little problem there and I fixed it. And now I'm going to go a little further past the problem. There. And now I'm going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Put it in a good spot. Turn it. And then here we go, the last little bit. And this is it. I'm going to pull that pin out, bring this down, and here we go. The last little bit. Let's see if we can do this without having problems. I'm going to go right over the needle. There. Over the needle. Now I'm going to pull those needles out. There. Alright. You see, this is the second shirt, so I'm getting used to doing all this stuff. There. I use my tool, kind of just to keep that down. Here. From this side. See it. Just want to make sure. Now here, I know the line is right here. I can see it. So I'm just, even though there's nothing marking it, I know where it is. Because I folded it a certain way to make it like that. Pull this pin out, come to the end. And ta-da. Alright, I'm going to bring that back. I hope I have enough thread to finish these. It looks like I'm getting close to running out of thread. I think I do. So here we go. So we did all this. All this edge is done. All the edge is done. Okay, so now, let me pan out. There. And this. Okay. But these things are just getting in the way. There. Anyway, okay, so now what's next? What's next is the sleeve. So Yeah, so we have 2 sleeve holes here. One on this side and one on this side. So the sleeves are kind of tricky. They have a top point and they have the bottom point. And then this is kind of a side point. Then you take a sleeve. Let me go get the sleeves. They're right here, I think. Yeah, here they are. All right, so here are some sleeves. Now, what happened is on my other sleeves, I made a mistake. So what we have to do on this sleeve, but this is good because I can show you. See, what we have to do is we have to make it so the top of the sleeve is puckered like this, or what's the word for it? Basted, and so that it sits like that. So when it's inside of the sleeve is actually bigger, but you want room for your arms to move, right? So because of that, there's a front and a back to the sleeve, and the back gets a little more puckered than the front, and or a little bit more easing, they call it. That's what they call it, easing. So what we do is we put some basting stitches in there, which are very loose stitches that we can tie, and then we pull on one end of the stitch. And when you pull on the end, what it does is it makes it ravel like that. So that's what we're going to do first. So I know where to do it. So okay, first you figure out which is the front and the back. Now they usually show you on the pattern, but if you go like this, you can tell that the back is the one that has more material. So that's the back. So this is the left sleeve. No, this is the right sleeve. The right sleeve, yeah. So the first thing that I will do is I would edge this, and then after I edge them, make them like that, then what I will do is I will run a basting stitch. But we'll put the basting stitch in now, just because I'm here and you can see what I'm talking about. So sleeves are very tricky. They're probably the second trickiest part of sewing. So let me go in a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start here, and so I'm going to take my stitch length and I'm going to make it as big as I can. On this machine it goes to 6. So 6 is a long distance, 6 millimeters. And so usually you have 2 basting stitches. So you come from about right here where it starts to turn. You look at, see, this isn't a very bad slant. Some things come way out like this, but this one isn't that bad. But from about right here is where you start to pucker. So, or to baste, or ease, as they say. Okay, so here we go. So usually what you do is you do 2 stitches in there. You make 2 loose stitches, and then you could tie them with the pin, like, and then you pull from one end and then you ease it, which I'll show you how I do that. I can do that right now. So first I'm going to put it down. I'm going to bring this in a little bit here. I can do it without too much trouble. There. Good, good. Okay, so we're going to start here, and we're going to go about 1/8 of an inch out, maybe a little longer, with the first line. and we usually put 2. So see how far that fabric's moving each stitch? And so that's what we're doing. So here we go. And you put 2 because if one comes out, you got the other one. I think that's the reason why, but I'm not sure really. I just put 2 because that's the way I learned. So here we are. And we'll just do one sleeve, and then I'll do the other sleeve after. Because normally I would just do these to all 4 of them at the same time, or all 2 of them. But because I was doing 2 shirts, it was 4 before. But anyway, all right. So 2 about right here is probably good. All right, and then you want to leave let me pull it up, and you want to leave a lot of thread so that you got a lot to pull. It doesn't come out. All right, that's 1 thread. See how it kind of puckered already? And then what we'll do is we'll tie it at this end, and then we'll pull it from the other end like this, and kind of ease it out so that it fits the armhole. And let's see, yeah, that's fine. All right, so here we go. We're gonna put 1 more in. And you go like a 1/4 inch more in, but when you sew it, you're not gonna see this because you're gonna pull this out after. I just gotta go kind of slow because I don't want to cross stitch with it. Meaning I don't want to cross over the other stitch that I stitched already. So I have to kind of go slow. There, now I'm going to leave a lot more on this one too. And so then what we do is we go to this end, and some people what they do is, all right, this one kind of, there's the threads right there, there's 4 of them, right? So what we're going to do, we'll just tie them all together. We can pull them out later if we want to. So I'm just tying them together so that they have a way of stopping. And then I'm going to pull from this end a little bit. See, I'm going to ease it like this. See. All right, so this is pretty crunched up, so you just kind of go like this and you even it out. Like, try to make it even. That's why you need the extra over here, so that you can pull it out a little bit. So you want it kind of so it doesn't pucker, but doesn't get little pleats in it. Right. There. So that's that, right? So then we have to go over here to the serger and serge a little bit. Let me show you that. Just to clean it up. And our Kung Fu movie looks really good right now. But I'll just go to the serger. We can take a look at the Kung Fu movie. See, they're having a great time over there. Some good Kung Fu going on right there. Oh, it's going to get bloody. Alright, so we're going to go back down here. Pull this out. There you go. Okay. So now, remember this is the serger and it cuts and sews at the same time, and I can see that a piece of it is, the little thing that catches is not attached, so I'm going to attach it, this little thing. And that catches the stuff we're cutting off. Let me turn the light over here a little more. There. Now let's put it in. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is we can do this a couple ways. One is we can serge this together, which is fine. We'll do that. So we're just going to serge down this edge. No, we want to go inside out, like that. Like that. So we'll serge, we'll take off a little bit of seam allowance, about 3/8. And see that nice little piece that's coming off there? See, it just falls right in there. And this is there. Cut this off. There. Now, what we can do is we can take this off, and we can use this like so if we take this off, then we have space in here, and we can serge in the circle. So now we're just serging the outside of the sleeve. And it's just to make a nice cut on a nice edge so that it looks professional and it's not fraying at the end. This machine's bouncing. Look at that. It has little suction cups, but because I'm on cardboard, it's moving. See, now it went all the way around. And then you just kind of sew off the cut that. There. See? There. Now what we do is we just fold it like this and then put one more in it, like all the way around. And we'll do that on that machine. So we move back to that machine. And then we'll put in this, I'll show you how to put in the sleeve if we have enough. Yeah, we have 52 minutes left on this video. So anyway, it's right to there. See, so we'll sew that next, and then we'll put in the sleeve. You can see how it's going to fit in there. Because of this little bit of puckering, it'll have more room for the arm to move. It'll make more sense when I get over there. I wonder if I can tighten this down. There, it probably is. Tighten down now. Alright, so now I'm going to put this back on just so that when I come back, well, I may have to do the other sleeve, but anyway. Okay, so we're moving back over to the machine. The machine. There we go. Now this is the same thing. This has where I can just take this off like this. See that? And then, let me put this a little bit this way so it's just easier to see for you. And now we're going to take it. Now see, here's the thing where I could iron it and pin it, or if I feel comfortable, I can just sew it, which I do, so I'm going to. I think I'll make it a little bit smaller though, about like that. So I put this in here like this, and I just start anywhere and go around in a circle. I just have to make it the same on both sides. That's the only thing. All right, so now we got to put it back on 4.5. 3.5 is fine. So then I'm going to back stitch, 1 stitch, 2 stitch, and then here we go. Just go right around in a circle from it. Making a nice edge on that sleeve. Making some funny noises. I hope it didn't lose its thread. No, it didn't. You know what it is I'm running out of thread. I hope I make it. Well, I can use some of that other thread over there on the serger if I get stuck. If I run out, that's what I'll do. Use the serger thread. See, now I'm almost all the way around. Not quite. Yeah, so right here is where I started. Yeah, oh, I have ran out of thread. This thing is, there's no thread in there. Oh boy. Okay, so I was doing all that, going around in a circle, and nothing was sewing. But it was, that was bizarre. So what was pulling it, I wonder? It was just stuck here? Oh well. Okay, so I think we'll stop here until I figure out what's going on with this.